With Ian Book leaving Notre Dame following the 2020 football season, the Fighting Irish have some pretty big shoes to fill with the departure of the program's all-time winningest quarterback. Currently on the roster is Brendan Clark, a sophomore out of Virginia, and Drew Pyne, a freshman out of Connecticut. Neither of them have a ton of reps under their belt and not a lot of experience, so look for a pretty intense battle this offseason as Notre Dame looks to replace QB1. Arriving in February as an early enrollee and a true freshman is Tyler Buchner, one of the more coveted and heralded quarterbacks in the class of 2021. Ron Paulus III was also brought in December during the early signing period as a true freshman signee at the position. Notre Dame needs experience. That quarterback room doesn't have a ton of it. Enter Jack Coan, the former Wisconsin Badgers quarterback committed to the Fighting Irish earlier this week. In him, you're getting a 6'3", 220-pounder with a ton of experience during his 3-year stint at quarterback for Wisconsin. In the 2019 season, he was 10-4 with a Rose Bowl berth. He led Wisconsin with nearly 3,000 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Like I said, he's a veteran. He has a ton of experience. The problem was he injured his foot ahead of the 2020 football season, which opened the door for Graham Mertz to become QB1 at Wisconsin. And he took the job, never let it up, and it's his job for the future. He's got a terrific career ahead of him for the Badgers. In Coan, Notre Dame's getting a guy who spins the ball really well. He's accurate. He's got a quick release, very decisive. Love that about him. He's fearless. He's no problem playing on the big stage, and he's going to need that because Notre Dame plays a national schedule, has a ton of great matchups, including one against Wisconsin next year, which will be a fun battle to watch. In the end, I think this was the biggest pickup because he provides that veteran leadership, and he's a presence inside the locker room that they don't currently have. He has experience that nobody on that roster at that position is going to have. So if Tyler Buchner is truly the future, I think he's a guy you have to play as a true freshman in some fashion. I think you also need to try to get Clark as many reps as possible and Pyne as well. If Notre Dame's going to win a lot of games next year, I think a perfect situation is that they win it by committee at the position. But either way, in Coan, I think they landed a guy that can get them at least in the discussion of a playoff hunt next year. I don't think he's got the arm talent and the overall arm strength that you want for an elite quarterback, but he's more than just a game manager, and he's a guy that can win a lot of games for Notre Dame next season. In the end, I expect Jack Coan to be the starting quarterback for Notre Dame when they open the season with Florida State next year.